shop, Pebble Home Interiors, which is located in Blue on the outskirts of Stanmore and Edgware in London. It's an exclusive outlet offering a fine array of unique products, soft furnishings, home accessories, interiors and personal luxury items, and I know she's going to be talking much more about the very personalised service that she offers. She's keeping it in the family, coming from a family with an extensive history of running family businesses, particularly in the furniture industry. She talks about her late father, Solomon, being her driving force and inspiration to succeed. But she was also previously the owner and chairman of Cayman K-Phone Woolfson-Paul. Well, that was her father, right?
He used to be here many times
So, you're going to talk more about your own business as we go along. So let's start first of all, Rachel, with the stocking of the right sort of products. How do you create a brand that reflects your store's identity? You know, how do you establish an identity for your store, whether it's a bricks and mortar store, whether it's online? What are the decisions you have to make in order to get the product mix like? Rachel.
Hi. For us, well, for me, it's a boutique type store, so it creates a sort of a nice shopping experience for our customers. It's not just a shop that, you know, they feel like coming into a colourful ambience, personal service, and so we tend to reflect the products that we buy reflect that type of place whereby we are looking for products that, for the customers that come into us, the clientele, so we buy with those in mind, keeping our identity there as well. And so basically we ask, we have a personalised service, opportunity to choose from a wide range of brands and products that hand-selected by us. And we tend to be more responsive to our customer profile and demographic, which is, the ability to stock products that reflect the store's individual ethos and our values. It allows us to stock products that our customers and clients seek with the ability to apply fluidity, because obviously things do change. So we bear that in mind, and we're catering for all tastes. Stocking home gives that bit offbeat and original, but in keeping with us, because people come into us and they tend to want to look around a bit. They don't want to be maybe hassled, but then on the other hand, they may want help. So we allow them to have that time to browse and not to interrupt them. And then when they do need the help, we really do offer that unprecedented customer service. And they seem to really be happy with that. It's not just about the one sale, the product that we're doing, but it's more about the future things that we might do and the products that we stock in mind with them in mind all the time. You have an ability over larger stores because you have the benefits of being an independent over a chain or a high-speed store. You can choose sort of independent designers. I have met countless independent people who are looking to showcase their stuff alongside the brands. It works really, really well, and also it means that your customers are getting something a little bit different, and you have the ability to change things up really quickly. All the suppliers I use, they're all that allow me to order in smaller quantities. Most of them do, and you can adapt your stock levels. You only have to buy relative, in small. You don't have to like a chain. So you can change things up really quickly, and you have the ability to test the market and adjust your stock accordingly. And I think that's another thing, that when you're stocking brands or products, if you go for maybe the smaller independent supplier that isn't maybe as well known as some of the others, you'll probably find that you'll have better terms, and also you'll have a very good working relationship with them, and hence you'll be able to provide a lot of different type of styles to your customers. There's some fabulous people here, as you can see, and so yeah, absolutely agree with what both of you are saying on that front. But just moving on to the sort of tailoring your customer service, particularly to the new generation of digital natives, as they're called, and this will be a particular interest, whether you're doing bricks and mortar or whether you're doing online. Customer service is the thing that is going to differentiate yourself. So really, how do you enhance your customer service? How do you engage with them? How do you build up a customer base that's going to be different, to everybody else? Rachel, how do you get Well,
that?
I I've sort of looked at it in a way that I'm quite small. I'm in a share shop with a boutique, and so you come in there and you can buy clothes, and you can come into me and you can get some beautiful, pieces of vases and gifts and sort of home styling products. And I've tried to create, I'm creating a presence beyond my store. My store is my front, but my business is way beyond the shop, and that's how I've tried to run my business. So I've had to rethink effectively in this, this digital age of, how I've had to redefine what in-store means. And for me and for us, it means we've had to, anywhere that we can reach new markets, grow our customer base, such as at events, home styling, promotional days and evening nights. And I have developed a really good relationship with my customers, and they come back to me because I do a try before you buy process with them. Now, I know that might not work for lots of people, but I'm doing home styling a lot because people have come to me and said, that looks really, really nice, but I don't quite know what to do, and I can't really afford to get an interior designer. So we say, fine, where do you live? We go to their home, we put it out in their home, and they love it. By the next day, they've bought all those pieces, and they've stayed with them, because if you're buying a massive big vase, or you're buying a huge piece, and you're not quite sure, or the mirror you're not quite sure, so we allow them to keep with it, and if they don't want it, it comes back in the same way as it went. But I'm saying this is because I'm working in an area that we can tend to know a lot of our customers, because we've built up a relationship with them over, 6 months, a year, or longer. And so that's worked really, really well. And I've taken concessions in other shops that don't sell home accessories or gifts. They do jewellery, and someone says, they met me at an event and said, right, I really like that stuff. Is there any way I could work out with you? So in some sort of, sorry, I don't think that's the wrong word, that we could maybe work together on something. So I've actually done a concession in another person's business. They don't do gifts and home accessories. And so I found that was a really good way of building links. And also, through concessions, TV shows, using social media, such as Trish obviously has talked about before, Facebook, website, and I've done some really, what I feel is good promotional videos. So I have a presence on it, I have a shop, yes, but how does the person at home really get to understand and know that what I'm about, what the shop is about? And they can really get that. It's done to music, it's got all the beautiful things in the shop, like what you've just shown in yours. I happen to have a son who's really good with creative, so he's helped me, which has been able to do it on a tight budget. But the videos really help to tell people about the shop, about what's, it brings them into their homes. And I think that's a really good way to create and conjure up a virtual experience to the customer. And also, I say, you just need to think out of the box, really, in these times. If the customers aren't coming to you, it means you being attuned to your local environment, you're beyond what's happening in the immediate area around you, the demographic, but also about expanding your store into people's homes and living rooms, via TV and social media, into their cultural and social activities, via gift fairs. All through the year, I do different events. And I'm building up a rapport with customers who've maybe never heard of my shop, and who maybe don't quite know, and I've had loads of referrals through that. And also in these times, one has to rethink what it means to be a retailer and how you can create a presence beyond your shop front.
Well, how about the driving? I mean, driving customers to your online, so online, driving your customers, so through social media, to actually come into your shop. I think that's really, really important. And there are a number of platforms and ways of doing that, and personal recommendation, that you want to get people to come to you.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's just what you mean, like, just how do we get customers into us? Well, I think the thing is that I was just talking about knowing your local, your area, and using every possible tool there is to get customers into you. And I find that recommendations are really good. I did spend a huge amount of money on advertising. It didn't work, a lot of it. Maybe it would work now better now that I've been in the sort of doing the business for quite a while. But I found that recommendations are really, really good. Maybe seeing if you can work with somebody who does whatever, and sort of, having concessions or whatever, but, obviously to get your product known but it's about, I think when I've gone to, events and things and I talk to people, they are definitely, if I give them a card and I spend, 5-10 minutes talking to somebody, they're going to come into the shop, more than likely, because I've given them time and sort of, sometimes in the big stores you don't get that. You go to a big store, I've had customers who've come in to me, who said, I've got a vase at home, I don't know quite what to do with it. So I say, bring the vase in and we'll help you fill it with some beautiful silk flowers or some lovely crystal things. I think working with your customers, it's not just about the immediate sale, it's about, those sales all the way down the line and those customers telling their friends and family and everything else that you need to come to a particular shop because they look after you really, really well. And I think that's one way, and I do agree about the internet. I've had some bad experiences with the internet. I've bought things, I've seen things online that are about 10 times more expensive than are in my shop. And that really annoys me because these online big stores, they think that they can lie to us. Sometimes they do, I'm afraid. And they put all sorts of charges on. And I've had the same products in my shop, one for $24.99, and I saw it written on the internet for $84.99, reduced down to $39.99. And I'm telling you, the product was like £6 or £7. So it's not what it seems. We have to be careful, and I do agree with that, yeah.
Well, that's the thing about trust, isn't it? If anyone setting up online, is how do you develop that trust? The reason why John Lewis does so well online is because they're a very trusted brand. There are lots of other people out there online who potentially, you don't know who they are. Are you actually going to get the product? And you will have heard there's some horror stories.
The overhead was so much less. I think if the high street had more of that, people would have a chance to have their own businesses. Things work very well together. I would love a coffee shop where I am as well, because I think it creates a great atmosphere for an ambience to go shopping with nice, beautiful, lovely gifts and accessories and, cards, whatever, paintings, mirrors. I think sharing a shop, and it is hard, it's very hard out there, but for me, it's working because I am sharing a shop and I have their customers. So those customers coming through the door are potentially my customers and vice versa. So I'm all for, as I said, the position of where you are, etc. Because there are days when it's really quiet. So, you do have to think out of the box a bit, but sharing is quite a good way of, making a good start.
Do either of you offer gift wrapping services?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
We do extensive gift wrapping. We also, yes, we do, in a way, if someone comes in and they're rushed for time, we will actually deliver to them as well. Because I'm in an area that, to go in the area, I can get around there quite easily. And if they come in and they choose it, they ask us sometimes to choose something for them, and they'll come in and take it the next day because we wrap it up really well. So that's a very important part of our business, because if you go into John Lewis or you go to some of the other big stores, you are not going to get that. So that is a definite plus side to the business, which can help to create, because every one that you wrap up lovely and is given as a present to somebody says, and I put my label. We have labels which clearly state who we are. They then think, I know where to go to get a gift. So it works, hopefully.
We've enjoyed it, and if you want to come and talk to any of us afterwards, please do